Hello everyone, I am Djedouani Amel, the product manager for BIM features at Evercam. And in this presentation, I'm going to introduce you to our Evercam dashboard and how it integrates BIM model with live view reality capture. So Evercam is an international company. We're operating since 2015 in fixed position camera and project management software. Our main goal is to improve productivity in the construction project by improving team communication and visibility. Our Evercam dashboard is helping to monitor more than 700 projects in the world, such as airports, hospitals, data centers, and so on. We are international. We are present in 14 countries, mainly in Ireland and UK. Our main goal, as I said, is to improve site visibility and team communication. How? By providing a single source of truth to different stakeholders in the construction project, combining between reality, images, and a bunch of features such as our BIM functionalities and gate reports using AI and machine learning. Our Evercam dashboard integrates with most of the softwares used by our customers, such as Procore, Autodesk, Power BI, and so on. And we work with solid partners such as Hikvision and Bentley. We're happy to have a lot of big companies using our Evercam dashboard and trusting our products such as BAM, Skanska, Intel, Mercury, and so on. Here I'm going to show you our Evercam dashboard. On the map view, you can see here all the red markers. These are the Evercam cameras installed in the world. I will choose a project to showcase our features. So it will be the National Children's Hospital. Here I have an overview of all the cameras installed on site. So I can choose any of them to access the live view of the camera and see what's happening on site now. I can zoom to get the details. I have here some functionalities, such as the measuring tool. It's a 2D measuring grid that allows you to measure distances. So if I zoom here and click on 2 points, I would be able to have the distance in meters. I can jump to the other cameras as well at any time to see what's happening on site right now. We have other functionalities such as our weather feature. So the weather feature is useful for our customers if they need to explain any delay happening on site because of special weather conditions. I have my editing tool if there's anything that I want to highlight on site. So for example, I can draw a rectangle here. If I want to highlight this area, I can add some text. It can be like remove this here, and I can share it during a meeting or send it by email to anyone. I have my recordings tab. So we are recording the whole duration of the project. So here we are recording from day 1, 2 years ago. So I have all the footage and the recordings. We will keep them for our customer 3 years after the end of the project. I have my X-ray tool here, which is this small box. You can see that in the small box, the date is 2 years ago in the beginning of the project. So I can see what was happening here in the beginning of the project. I can see all the details and I can compare between 2 different milestones. What's happening now versus what was happening in the beginning of the project. I have as well my Timelapse Creator functionality. This one will allow our customer to create nice time lapse to share on social media or to share with their customers and add their logos. Or we can as well create for you professional time-lapse video to share on social media. We have here our sharing tab. This tab allows our customer to share the access to the Evercam dashboard with as many persons as possible. It can be the stakeholders, it can be shareholders, it can be customers. You can share unlimited access here. And now we are going to talk about about our BIM features. So our BIM journey started with the BIM Compare functionality. What we do in the BIM Compare functionality, we overlay images of the BIM model on top of the image of the camera live view. So here you can see that my screen is split in two parts. Here in the right, I have my camera live view, and here in the left, I have my BIM model. So we ask our customers to share their BIM model with us. They can use like any construction software, Revit, Synchro, Naviswork, or it can be as well SketchUp. They share with us the BIM files, 3D or 4D. If they have 4D, it's much better because with 4D, I have the whole timeline. We extract images of the BIM model. We overlay them here on top of the camera live view, and the customer will be able to drag the handle and compare what's happening on site versus what has been designed on the BIM model, to track the progress, to track the quality as well, to know if I'm installing the right type of window, roof, door, and so on. Here in the bottom, I have the 4D timeline. So I have all the milestones of my BIM model. I can here choose any other milestone, for example, and I will be able to compare, for example, this structural milestone versus my camera live view. So you will choose here a date of the camera live view and compare it with a date of the BIM calendar. So each time here you will see a blue circle on the BIM calendar. It means that I have a new milestone in my BIM model, and I'm able to do the comparison. I can control the transparency as well if I want to see some details of the BIM model. So the journey started with the BIM Compare, and now we are upgrading with our new feature. It's called 4D View. We worked with Bentley to upload the BIM model of our customer directly into the Evercam dashboard. So here the main goal is to offer to our customers one seamless platform, and the user will be able to jump between the live view of the camera, the reality, and the digital twin, the BIM model here. So anyone having the access, as I said, to the Evercam dashboard can have the access to the BIM model and can interact with it and have the necessary information. Here you can see that my BIM model is integrated into its direct context, into its direct environment. So you can see here on the surroundings that I have satellite images and these OSM buildings. If I want to have information on the surroundings, I just click here on the building, for example, and I will have necessary information. For example, here it's in a hospital, it's in Dublin, and it's in James Street. So I can have valuable information about the surroundings, and I can have as well the information related to my BIM model just by clicking on the component. So my 4D view will recognize any component of the BIM model, highlight it, and I will have the related information. So for example, here I will know that it's the floor, or I can as well click here. It will highlight that it's the roof. So I will have all my BIM data. If I zoom here, you see that I have red markers, red camera markers. These are the camera installed on site. So here, all the camera are in the right location, right position, and I'm able as well to see the field of view of the camera. So for example, this camera is pointing to this facade. And if I click here on the camera, I will get the access directly to the camera live view to see what's happening. I have access to the recording through our calendar here. I have my X-ray functionality that I have already showcased to you. I have my weather tool, my editing tool, and I have this icon for the view. By clicking on this icon, it will allow me to enable the upgraded version of the BIM Compare. So in the previous version, the first one, we were just overlaying images on top of images. So image of the BIM model, static, on top of the image of the camera live view. Here, we are able, thanks to 4D view, to overlay the whole BIM model on the camera live view. So you can see here, by clicking on the roof, 4D view recognize that it's a component, recognize that it's a roof. So it's not a static image, it's the BIM model. Similar here, if I click on this structure, it's highlighted and 4D view recognize this structure. So here I have my whole BIM model on top of the camera live view, which allows me to use other functionalities such as a measuring tool in order to measure distances just by clicking on 2 points, for example here. So I can measure distances and I can do a section here as well, and I have my whole timeline that I can play as an animation and stop at any milestone to do the comparison between reality and BIM to track the progress and to track the quality. I have as well here my whole 4D timeline animation in 4D view that I can play, and I can stop as well at any milestone. I can disable here all the buildings in the surroundings. You can zoom in and zoom out to see the details of your BIM model. You can navigate and rotate around it just like any other construction software or just like any viewer. I can use other functionalities here. I have the measuring, for example. If I want to measure distances, I click on the first point and then on second point, and I have my distance. I can measure inside and outside of the BIM model. So here I measure this distance on the BIM model, but I can as well measure the distance between, for example, my project and the neighborhood. So I can measure anything inside and outside my BIM model. And I'm able as well to measure areas. So I can choose, for example, random points here. My area is highlighted and I will have it here. If I want to better explore my BIM model and see what's happening inside, I can do sectioning by using my sectioning tool. I can do vertical or horizontal section. Here, for example, I'm clicking on the roof. It will allows me to have this sectioning plan, and I'll be able to know what's happening inside. So here I did a section. I can remove my sectioning plan and then zoom in, and I'll be able to see what's happening inside, structural details, furnitures, and so on to better explore my BIM model. So here is the Evercam's journey regarding to our BIM functionalities. Our main goal is to offer to our customer one platform and allow them to jump between the reality, drone imagery, BIM files in order to track the progress, to track the quality, and always stay on budget and stay on time. We'll be happy to receive all your questions after this presentation. So thank you.